Welcome to We Luv Wrestling Spotlight. I'm Terry with the Pretty Heels. We're going to spotlight them today. You have Ebony, you have Danielle, you have Jinks. So, ladies, to start off with, can you tell me why you love wrestling? Anybody can go first.
Anybody can go first? All right. So, I love wrestling because it gives me inner peace. It makes me happy. Takes me to my happy place. You know, there's a lot of different things going on in the world, and sometimes wrestling is an escape for me. You know, it gives me a chance to just be entertained, to see something that I actually enjoy, and to become immersed in just all of the theatrics and everything else that surrounds it.
See, Danielle.
Well, I love wrestling because I feel like it's like been in my bones forever. I think I went to my first show when I was about 5 years old. My first live show at Madison Square Garden. It was a dark show. And I mean, I've done backyard wrestling. Wasn't good at it, but I've pretty much like indulged and engaged in wrestling my entire life. So it's only right as an adult to just further immerse myself and expand on all of the things that surround wrestling. So I love all promotions, and I literally love wrestling.
Jinx.
So for me, it basically ties both of what Danielle and Ebony said. For me, wrestling, the theatrics, the escape, and it brings me back to the moments I had with my granddad and my family growing up, because my granddad brought me into wrestling and got me started. So it's just something that I've always loved as a child, and it followed me throughout my adult life. So I'm no complaints here. I'm a wrestling fan through and through. I love wrestling.
Love that. Now, your name, Pretty Heels, that's a unique name. Where did this name, who came up with this name? How did it?
Okay, so I was in a wrestling group, and, you know, things were going on within the, you know how Facebook is sometimes. And so I just responded, and I basically said, you know, listen, I'm pretty, but don't get it twisted, I'm a heel. So I was like, you know, I'm a pretty heel. And then when people started ganging up on me and things like that, and something happened, other pretty heels joined in. And then I was like, you know what?
Gang.
We gonna make this work. We the pretty heels. Like, don't get it twisted. We know wrestling. We talk the talk. We're involved. We do things, and we're actually very, very pretty, but we're still heels. So I love the name because it's just like, you know, we're pretty, but we're heels. Don't get it twisted.
Heels?
Are you all heels, or like is someone a baby face, or?
We all have our moments.
Jinx is more of the baby face of the group.
Yeah, I am.
She's the baby face. Danny is a heel, a true heel.
All day.
And I'm sometimes a baby face and sometimes a heel, but mostly a heel.
Only time you really, to get the heel out of me, you really have to be under my skin, because I'm real level-headed, and it comes to the point where once that switch goes off, it's like, all right, let me bring her back down real quick, because we don't want this person.
Yeah, and Danny and I don't have a switch. It just
Talking to heel people, I'm the baby face. They heels. I don't know what's going on here.
You're fibbing because you're a petty heel.
Yes, very petty.
Okay, that's a different subject. That's a different subject for another day. Now, well, how did you guys? That's how you got together, just on Facebook and everything, you know?
Facebook brought us together, and then traveling and meeting at shows. Like, we all met through the Facebook group. Then I know Ebony and I met at, what was that, WrestleMania 33 in Orlando. Mm-hmm. And then in New Orleans, we all met Danielle. Actually, we Facebook again, chatting in the group. Then we all met in person, and it was like instant connection with us. From that moment, we everywhere.
Absolutely.
Even if it doesn't involve wrestling, we're traveling together. Like, we're just together, and it works for us.
So y'all could be like pretty heel sisters or something.
These are my sisters.
We are sisters.
Oh, yes. That stuff. Okay. So. With the Pretty Heels, what do you guys do? Like, what's your focus? What's your mission out here? You know, you travel, you go to shows and everything. Do you do anything in the wrestling community?
Actually, we want to raise awareness of female involvement in the wrestling industry. That's first and foremost. Female involvement in the wrestling industry, just to have a female perspective and a female presence and a female voice. Secondly, we like to do events and host parties, events, and things before all of the major wrestling shows. So pre-corona, all of the big 4 pay-per-views, all of these things, we've been hosting meetups and, you know, different parties and things like that. And as soon as this mess is all over, we plan on expanding even larger and hosting and doing a lot more things in the wrestling community, actually.
So
we've been, all of us, a Pretty Heel is always in the house at the Big Four, at other promotions. We've been to the G1 Climax in Japan. Yeah. So we're like, yeah, we're worldwide with it. So
okay.
We formation with it.
I hear
Look, as somebody say, globe trotting.
Yes. So we're trying to make that female presence known, you know.
I hear the slight stunt, you know, we was at the G1 in Japan. Okay, so y'all out here. So you said you do events. Like, what was one of the last events you did before?
Which one was the last one we did, Danny? Was it?
There was a meetup. So we frequent the Jericho Cruise.
Yes.
We've been on both excursions on the Jericho Cruise, and the last meetup that the Pretty Hells hosted was the meetup in Miami the day before embarking on the Jericho Cruise.
Yeah, we did one. Yeah, that was right before at Hooters.
Right before. I'm lying. That actually wasn't the last event. So the last event was a viewing party in New York for
She's right. Yeah, that was like the week before I moved back down to Miami.
Yeah, and that actually was, I think, the week before New York got shut down, or the country completely got shut down.
Absolutely.
So Ebony and Danielle, you're based out of New York, and Jinks, you're in Miami now?
Yes, I'm back in Miami. I was in Virginia, a little bit closer to the ladies, but I'm back south. So if you're in Miami, Pretty Hills Extension down here, link up with me.
Absolutely.
So that's interesting because Ebony said you guys are planning to expand. Are there more? Are Pretty Hills more than just you three?
So basically, we have a lot of Pretty Hills and Pretty Hill supporters. Like, anyone can support the Pretty Hills. You don't have to be a female to support the Pretty Hills. That's why you see some guys wearing "I Support Pretty Hills" t-shirts. And a Pretty Hill, basically, we have a lot of females across the globe that are actually involved and, you know, support the Pretty Hills. They're Pretty Hills, you know, by heart. We're just the 3 founding members, but we have other Pretty Hills. We even have one overseas. Where's Shay at?
Bahrain.
Yeah.
Bahrain. Right now deployed into Bahrain.
Yeah, so she's deployed right now. We have a big supporter in Hawaii, Angie. Want to give a shout out to her. Give a shout out to Angie. We have Pretty Hills all over. So, you know, we're trying to expand. We're trying to really break into that wrestling market and put that female stamp out there.
She said,
eventually there'll be a Pretty Hill on Mars.
Hey, look, we getting there. Mark this day.
Look how you shook his head.
Y'all probably see Angie on the webpage on Women on Wednesday. She's affiliated with Pretty Hills, but she's going to be affiliated with We Luv Wrestling because they are too.
Because we love wrestling.
We love wrestling.
We love wrestling.
All day.
Every day.
All day. So we're about to wrap this up. I got 2 final questions.
Okay.
Now, my first one is I'm going to ask you all, because you know we got to talk wrestling. Who's your favorite male and female athlete, any promotion, any decade, any time period, anybody, your choice? And then I ask the second one after.
Okay, I'll start. If you know Ebony, the Brooklyn Diva, then you know my favorite male wrestler is absolutely The Undertaker. Without a shadow of the doubt. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. There's no close seconds. I am a die-hard Undertaker fan. Like, literally, like I can just hear it right now talking about him. My favorite female wrestler is my sister, Naomi. And I absolutely adore her. I love her. And, you know, those are my favorites. Next.
I'm gonna start with my female favorite wrestler. So ultimately, my favorite female wrestler, and I know Ebony and Danielle and probably anybody in the wrestling community have seen this video at the moment right now, and there's so much hate against her, is Nia Jax. Nia Jax for me, and granted she's newer in the industry, but Nia Jax for me, and being a plus size woman, she represents a community that you don't see too much of anymore in wrestling or wrestling in general. And just to see her, someone that looks like me out there, that's bigger and moving the way she moves, it makes me feel good deep down. So that's, and then of course I still love Naomi. Gotta love her, God, especially when she came out with that natural hair. I was like, about time.
For the glow.
You know, natural around here. But overall, at the end of the day, again, because I'm going back to something that's personal for me, and then like when they had that storyline with Alexa Bliss and Alexa was talking about her weight, I felt that to my core. And even when she won the championship at WrestleMania, I cried, I screamed, I lost my voice. The video's hilarious. I still look at it and laugh at it. Danielle and Ebony and Pam, they got some good shots of me. And I'm like, oh my God, was that me? But yes, and I was sober. Let's put that in there. I just cried. Favorite male wrestler all time. It's for me, it's like I'm gonna toss up between The Rock and Stone Cold. Like, in that, like, for me, their theatrics and their personality, like, there's some older wrestlers I like, but them two for me, especially like in the early 2000s and the mid 2000s, like, it was just like going through a lot of stuff. Again, wrestling was escape for me, and just seeing them two on TV just instantly was a calming thing, because they're great on the mic. They're great performers in the ring, so I've always been drawn to them too.
Okay, Danielle.
So, I mean, I'll start off with my favorite male wrestler, and I just have to give a small disclaimer. I've always been a fan of Razor Ramon. I'm not sure of who Scott Hall is, but I'm definitely a Razor Ramon fan. And as far as my female...
Sips tea.
I love it. I love it.
That was shade, but go ahead.
I love it.
It was shade.
It wasn't shade. I was liking it way before him. That's what drew us to each other. Anyway, so my female Terry, my female wrestler. Ebony, I hate you. My female wrestler, it would have to be, as far as my favorite, it'd have to be kind of twofold. And for the twofold, I would say the first one would go to Jacqueline for her actual in-ring capabilities. And I mean, of course, she's a woman of color, so I'm all about that life. Yeah. And she was like, you know, she wasn't necessarily one of the first to do it, but I mean, she did it with class and she did it with style, and she was beautiful. So love Jacqueline as far as her in-ring capabilities. Now, my heart goes out to the character of Chyna. Like, I've been a Chyna fan. I admired her. I admired the fact that she was a badass and she tangled with the men, you know. Yes. She was femininity, but, you know, she did what she had to do. She still was in the gym with the dudes, and she did everything that they could do, you know, in the ring or in the gym. I mean, for the most part, a little while, she was Triple H's muscle. So, like, I've always loved Chyna and what she could do, and her statement that she made without saying much. Right. So as far as male wrestlers, Razor Ramon, female wrestlers, twofold, Jacqueline and Chyna.
All right. So I actually lied. I have two other questions. It'll be a disservice if I didn't ask the last question.
Okay.
But, this question here, I've been doing the wrestler and the personality. So what wrestler has your personality? Current wrestler. I was saying me and CM Punk because of his personality while he was wrestling. But now I'm going more towards MVP because of his current run in WWE and his 2015 TNA Impact run. So, you know, Terry, the person, MVP, the wrestler, you know.
Shout out to Big Bro MVP.
So, ladies.
I gotta think about that one.
I can go first. I I would say the wrestler that would parallel me would be Becky Lynch. Just because she came out as the man, right? And she definitely kind of let her words speak for what it is. She's kind of smaller in stature, and I just admired how big she was, even though she wasn't necessarily, tall or muscular. So I would say that my spirit animal would be Becky Lynch.
Your spirit wrestler.
My spirit wrestler.
Spirit wrestler.
Becky Lynch.
Okay.
All right. For me, it would be, now this is a shocker.
Don't say The Undertaker.
No, absolutely not. This is not about favorites. Right now, who has the closest to my personality would be Lacey Evans.
Okay.
I'm going with Lacey Evans because I'm hood, but I'm very bougie. And a lot of my friends know that I got a lot of hood in me, but at the end of the day, I'm very bougie. And if you hang around me, you know I'm hood and bougie, but Lacey Evans, she just has this little elegant, you peasant air about her. And that's just...
She's a lady.
And, you know I'm a lady. Yeah, definitely Lacey Evans.
I don't know. That's the sad part because my personality is, and I feel like I'm in a bubble. Ladies, who would y'all say my personality closest match?
Nia Jax. Sorry.
I would say Nia Jax.
I would say Nia Jax.
I was thinking that, and hence one of my favorite female wrestler at the moment. I was thinking that, but I was like, let me really, because she has that soft, sweet side, but she has that mean streak in her as well.
It's you, darling.
Okay, maybe it is.
She's healing it up right now.
Right. She's definitely healing it up, and I'm feeling every moment of it every time I see her come on screen. But I would definitely have to give it to Nia Jax at the end of the day because, hey, it fits. I'm not going to deny it.
All right. Now, this is my last question, and it'd be a total disservice. I totally forgot. How are we connected? Because I'm doing this, and I'm like, hey, we're going to have Pretty Heels featured on here. But how are we all connected? How did we meet? I mean, I've heard how y'all met, but how did we meet to bring this all together? In
person or prior to? Because again, it goes back to a Facebook group, but then we met at Access in New Orleans.
Yes.
Face to face. We met at Access in New Orleans. And I was a little irritated, and I think you probably seen the heel side of me first meeting. And I know
you were irritated. Oh.
Man, Terry, I can't stand it.
You probably seen the heel side of me that at the first it gradually grew throughout the day. And you were one of my 88 personnel with me that went through the line with me. So of course, since I knew your name and face from the group, I was like, hey Terry, come on. But then it grew even more with that irritation because it kind of bonded us even more together.
True.
Well,
Danielle, Ebony, we're gonna let you go last because I like your story.
Yeah, y'all got a good story.
Danielle.
So I think we all met again my connection to you was also at Access. I really only remember your eyes.
Yes. I don't even remember.
I would just stare at your eyes and you're like, stop looking at me.
Yeah.
And then I would say something else to you and you're like, I don't even know your name. You're like, what's your name? So you still won't say my name, even though, you refuse to call me Ellenette, but that's fine. But I would say our first real encounter was WWE Access at WrestleMania 34.
34?
Yeah.
Where was 34 at?
New Orleans.
Oh. I don't remember that, but you're right. Okay. Ebony?
Well, I met Terry online at Access. I think it was WrestleMania 31. 30 or 31?
San Francisco.
San Francisco. I was 31. I was online with my son, waiting to get in. We started speaking, and we just clicked. And he was like, yo, you need to go on Facebook, and you need to join this We Luv Wrestling group. It was the first wrestling group I ever joined. So I'm like, wait a minute, there's wrestling groups out there? You mean to tell me I don't have to drive my regular Facebook friends crazy with all these Facebook posts? And then we just started hitting each other up, and he became like a brother to me, and the rest was history. And then started seeing him in other groups, and I'm like, okay, so I feel comfortable, Got Terry here, and that was that.
Yeah. Yeah, that was weird. I don't, cause y'all know.
Terry don't talk to nobody.
So he was talking to nobody. And my son used to always ask me, Mom, where's that Terry guy? How is that Terry guy? He just thought that Terry was like some wrestling god.
Nobody.
Just remember, like, we were sitting there and we started talking, and I was like, matter of fact, you know what? Join this group since you sitting here talking wrestling, and from there, like, it's been over. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We all here and we all together.
I think once everybody, for me at least, I can say, once I met you in person, it was just like, okay, that's Terry, that's Big Bro. We all, and it's because, we all look out for each other no matter where we at, what city we're in. We all have great conversations, whether it's together or one-on-one. So it worked out. Like, wrestling for me has brought me closer to so many more people, especially, like, again, one of our premises for Pretty Heels is to bring more awareness for females into wrestling. Finding other females, especially African American females, that love wrestling the way that I do, I couldn't ask for anything better. And then to tie it in, I found so many more of my brothers, my African American men within wrestling that are fans. And I'm not looked at like I'm crazy because I have this whole crowd with me that are all African Americans. At the end of the day, don't get me wrong, I hang out with everybody under the rainbow. But to see that core group that I've cultivated relationships with, by hands down, I'm for me as a wrestling fan, that was everything, because growing up I didn't have that. You tell your African American friends that you're a wrestling fan, they look at you like you're crazy. They be like, what's wrong with you? You're a nerd. That stuff's fake. I'm like, you know what? I'm not even gonna go there with you today. But at the end of the day, now that I have people that look like me, my Black and brown brothers and sisters that can talk about wrestling with me, educated talk, by hands, I'm just so grateful. And to think we all met through social media
and wrestling.
Wrestling has brought us together, and people don't understand there's a lot more of us out there. And that, again, one of the biggest premises of Pretty Heels was bringing especially females together. But if we can bring anybody together, that's a win in my book.
Absolutely. And sometimes with wrestling, it's hard because I'm the girl that wants to go get her nails done. I want to go put all these shoes and bags and shop. I want to be Miss Prissy, but at the same token, I love wrestling. So the girls that look like me and that act like me, they want me to be, just like some stuck up, let's just go shopping in Beverly Hills type. But I'm like, no, like, I'm that, but I also have a passion.
Right.
And so it was hard for me to fit in, because it's like growing up where I grew up, no one was really diehard wrestling fans, and you didn't just sit around and talk about wrestling all day. And that's what I wanted to do. And my friends used to tell me, we're not going to sit here and talk to you about wrestling all day. So when I started meeting people that actually wanted to talk about wrestling all day, won't he do it? So it's a great thing to be able to be myself and actually be around other people that are just as passionate as I am. This is a blessing.
Well, my own family still talk about me like I'm crazy. That wrestling on, look, last night, you can't help with these caps and posters. No, wrestling's on. You shouldn't have showed up after 8 o'clock. You should have showed up about 6 o'clock to do these cap and posters. I'm not doing them tonight. Wrestling's on.
Who was here?
Yeah, I am talking about my sister Tia, because my nephew his drive-through graduation was today. So. Yeah, I'm like, no, wrestling's on. I'm not doing it. And you're a bit, listen, but I have my sisters, but then I have my sisters, Ebony and Danielle, like, and then, Shay and all the other Pretty Hills that I can talk to wrestling about. I can't talk to my biological sisters about wrestling. They look at me like I'm crazy, but they're starting to watch. So I'm wearing them down. I am wearing them down slowly. They'll sit there and watch with me. Okay. And I gotta explain who everybody is and what they're doing, but they watch it.
Never mind.
Right. It's too much.
Well, ladies, that's all my questions. You know what I'm saying? Can you, before we leave, just let the people know where they can contact you, reach you at, find you at, just give you a shout out, how they can be heels with you.
Want to drop it, Danny?
You can go ahead.
All right.
Social media.
We have a website, www.prettyhillsxoxo.com. And we're Pretty Hills XOXO on all across social media, correct?
Instagram,
Facebook. Twitter, Facebook. Pretty Hills XOXO. Just that.
And when you see us, be sure to grab a pic with us. We love taking pictures with our family, our fellow wrestling family.
Where my shirt at? Since you talking about take pictures, where my shirt at, lady?
I told you
it's in the mail. It's in the mail.
Am I getting a custom shirt?
We'll talk
Ebony
about
will customize it for you.
We'll talk about that. Oh, also, if you want to support us, go our pro wrestling tee shop. Search us, Pretty Hills XOXO. We have the Pretty Hills and I Support Pretty Hill Wrestling t-shirts for the men. So we're on there if you want to go ahead and again support us and spread the word in the brand.
You heard it from
Look for the lips, baby. Look for the lips.
Look for the lips. XOXO.
Look for the lips.
When you see the lips, you know it's them. All right.
Absolutely. That'll be Bianca.
Right.
She go here. Well, I'm not going to.
She go here now.
Look.
Pretty Hills, you know how to reach them. Reach out to any one of them. Ebony, Danielle, Jinks. That's the original 3. Thank you for tuning in here. This is Terry's, and if you love wrestling and I love wrestling, then guess what? We love wrestling.
We love wrestling.